show, but I guarantee you they could probably smell us from here.
Damn.
Well, let's just talk about
this. You got
this.
a big nose. Come on.
They could smell us from here. But Henry, listen, why would we, as professional fighters, why would we go on these shows anymore with people who don't have G14 classification? Why would I be sitting there talking to you? Because you're just a glorified fan. The real journalists that have a conversation with us, Henry, before fights, and then they write about it, that's different. Not these people.
Kamaru Usman and Ariel Helwani are suddenly caught up in some serious drama, and trust me, is heating up fast. It all kicked off when Ariel slammed the idea of Usman getting the next title shot against Islam Makhachev. He called it a total travesty and basically said the only reason it's even on the table is Kamaru's manager Ali Abdelaziz working his behind-the-scenes magic, not because of anything the Nigerian Nightmare has done lately in the cage. Now, to be fair, Usman is coming off that huge win over Joaquin Buckley, who was on fire and looked nearly unstoppable. That victory, plus his elite resume, has some fans saying, yeah, Kamaru deserves another shot. Most people, though, still think 170 is stacked right now, and he probably needs at least one more fight before jumping the line. Either way, Usman and Helwani took this personally on their podcast. Kamaru fired back, saying Ariel isn't even qualified to decide who deserves a title shot. Let's break down exactly how Usman reacted to Helwani's criticism and what this beef really means for the welterweight division.
Show, but I guarantee you they could probably smell us from here.
Damn.
Well, let's just talk about this.
You got a big nose. Come on.
They could smell us from here. But Henry, listen, why would we, as professional fighters, why would we go on these shows anymore with people who don't have G14 classification? Why would I be sitting there talking to you? Because you're just a glorified fan. The real journalists that have a conversation with us, Henry, before fights, and then they write about it, that's different. Not these people who are media personalities basically give their opinion. You talk about me to stay relevant. I don't talk about you. I don't care about you.
You've been in the headlines, and it's a matter of respect too, Kamaru. I would take it as like, all right, man, I'm the big dog. I'm the sheriff in town.
But that's why they're talking about me, Henry, because of that. Because I am the big dog. I am the name. That's why they are talking about me.
Helwani didn't hold back and fired right back at Kamaru. And honestly, this is years of tension finally boiling over. You got to remember their history. Back when Usman was champ, his manager, Ali Abdelaziz, straight up banned ESPN from interviewing any of his fighters, calling it personal and accusing Helwani of targeting his champions. Usman stayed quiet, but clearly rolled with it, and that beef never really went away. There were smaller sparks too, like when Helwani interviewed Duplessis in 2023 and asked those provocative African race questions tied to Usman. Usman's camp sided with him on that one as well. The tension just kept building, and now Helwani has finally snapped. He went at Usman hard, calling out the hypocrisy, the revisionism, and the way Usman benefited from Abdelaziz's pull with the UFC while simultaneously accusing the media of bias. Helwani's point? Simple. Fighters want the media when it fits their narrative, but the second rankings or opinions don't go their way, suddenly the media is unqualified.
We're never qualified. That's why they're no longer invited to the events. And so this is the same old playbook. They don't, they've been in the fight game long enough. They would know that you don't get invited to these events as a media member. You apply for a credential and then they say yes or no. But that's a semantic. Obviously we understand they're trying to hit me below the belt, even though I've tried to explain and prove time and again that I haven't applied for a credential since March 2020. He's doing a video, he's clipping it off. Clearly, I have struck a nerve. And what is the nerve that I struck? He's 1-3 since 2021. He won one fight in June, and I had the audacity to say that this guy doesn't deserve a title shot. I didn't say that he's a bum. I didn't say that he's a never was.
Ilia Topuria humbled.
Alex Pereira just got humbled in the gym, and this one's wild. Earlier this week, Russian MMA reporter Yusha sat down with Dagestani MMA coach Gasanani Gasanov, who runs one of the biggest gyms in Dagestan. The coach revealed he shared sessions with UFC lightweight champ Ilia Topuria, and when Ilia visited their gym, he shocked everyone by sparring not just with fellow lightweights, but the bigger guys too. Quote, He's got thick, dense bones. His legs, back, and hips are insanely strong. That's why he hits so hard. He generates his punch power from his legs. He lifts massive weights. I've seen it myself. And because of that, he hits like a truck. I've always said it. If he lands one of those punches on someone's head, they're either gonna sleep or wobble for sure. I seen him play around with Pereira, and Alex was feeling those shots 100%. He can wobble anyone in the world. Anyone thinking his size means he can't hit hard is dead wrong. And now, a surprise twist from Michael Bisping. This one caught a lot of fans off guard. For weeks, he's been one of Tom Aspinall's loudest defenders in the whole eye poke controversy, partly because they're both English, partly because Bisping knows firsthand what it's like to deal with eye injuries. But suddenly, Bisping flipped the script and fired some surprisingly harsh criticism at Tom. He thinks Aspinall's handling this all wrong. Tom's been flooding social media with doctor videos, scans, medical updates, basically documenting every step to prove the eye poke was real and that he didn't quit. Bisping thinks this is backfiring. The more Tom posts, the more it looks like he's trying to convince people instead of moving forward like a champ. Coming from Bisping, who fought half his career with one functioning eye, that criticism hits differently. Bisping and Felder are advising Tom to move on, because this isn't the kind of content fans want from a heavyweight champ.
You know what? This kind of almost, I don't want to say feeling sorry for yourself, but allowing it to get to you and showing the doctors and stuff. It's not what people want to see from the heavyweight champ. No one wants to hear that shit.
No.
People want to hear people be real, and say, yeah, this is pissing me off. And you know what? I'm coming back. I'm on my doctor's case every day. When can I fight? When can I fight?
Yeah, just like he said, he's saying it, but then he's doing that kind of stuff. He needs to, I know it's tough to move on when you got people doubting you and questioning you and calling you a quitter when you're a guy that's a heavyweight champion like Tom Aspinall. It's a fucking bitch to deal with. But you're right. He needs to just move on and get better and then show up in training and do your damn thing. And again, be the heel then. Turn heel. Be a dickhead to everyone. Nobody will care if you go and knock Cyril Gane out and then you get on that microphone and you start talking shit. Guess what? People will just absolutely love that version.
Sean O'Malley just weighed in on the Ilia Topuria divorce drama and the fact that Topuria's personal issues have sidelined him until the spring of 2026. O'Malley is set to face Song Yadong at UFC 324, and Sugar had a reaction to being placed third on the card. Sean laughed about it on his podcast, pointing out he's not even the co-main. He joked that he's, quote, fallen off hard and said next time he'll be on the prelims. This is easily one of the most crucial fights of O'Malley's career. He's entering UFC 324 on a 2-fight losing streak for the first time in his run. If he drops another, he's almost guaranteed to move up to featherweight, which is something he's hinted at for years. Stylistically, Song Yadong is the perfect test. Powerful, compact, aggressive, but also very hittable. On paper, this is a fight Sean should win if he's still operating at an elite level. His range, timing, counters, and footwork all line up perfectly against Yadong's bursts. But even if he pulls off the win at UFC 324, it's nearly impossible to see Sean getting a third shot at Merab. The division has moved on, contenders are lining up, and Sean's future at bantamweight is still a massive question mark. This isn't just another fight on a stacked card. It's about proving he still belongs with the elites and deciding which weight class will define the next chapter of his career.
Stuff, you guys see that? Going through the divorce, wife supposedly trying to take 50%. God, dude. I feel so, that sucks. And it's all public, which makes it even just fucking worse.
I've seen a lot of shit on
'Cause I've been through some shit. I didn't have to do, it wasn't on the public, got to the other side, everything's good, but when you're going through that type of shit, you definitely don't want to be in fight camp.
Is that why he pulled out, or just...
That's why I didn't book a fight. He said he's going through his personal... It's all public, and I guess he was supposedly messaging girls, which is like, you can't say, how's it going?
I know, right?
Dude, no. Like, you can't be nice to the other species when you're married. I just don't understand. Yeah, no, that sucks. So I do genuinely feel bad for him, and yeah, I mean, all that shit. Oh, he's got 2 kids. It's like, when you add kids to the mix, that's really what makes it just so hard to deal with. It's unfortunate for him, but yeah, because I really wanted to see Ilia versus Patty. That was the fight I wanted to see. Ilia versus Islam is the fight I wanted.